And we're back with what will hopefully, I'm not even hopefully, what just is going to be the last episode of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and the last Ratchet and Clank for the foreseeable future, as I don't think there's been any announcement about a new one. So I'm gonna actually get going right here because I want to take a trip to Savali. Between episodes, I have done a little bit of meandering and gotten all of the Kreger Bears, except for the one at Savali, which I do vaguely know where this one's at, just to speed things along. They're usually not far off of the main, path of an area, but I didn't want to go running around for a whole bunch of time on camera, because sometimes they can be hard to find. I don't know exactly where they are, but the Kreger Bear should be over towards that time trial area where you had to zoom through a whole bunch of gates. Supposed to be over by that temple. That is the extent of what I know. That being said, the reason I didn't do this off camera is I want to see if we can find Kit while we're here. So if you're watching this live or close to live, you might be wondering why I did not play this game earlier. Because I was super in the mood. I did not really want to stop last time we were going, but it was real late. I say real late, it wasn't that late, but I had other things I needed to do the next morning. Okay, so Kit, I feel like Kit may be around here. I have no clue where Kit will be, but I want to see if they did anything.
Hello again, Wayfarer. Hi, happy to be back. Ratchet! Oh, it's a pleasure.
Where's Kit? I very specifically came here to come find Kit. Something tells me they won't let me do anything about Kit, but I wanted to see, and I didn't want to be wrong off camera. I didn't want to find Kit and be like, well, that was a heartful, tearful little conversation that we never get to see again. One of, those sorts of things. I'm going to go over, look for this Kreger Bear, and I think this is the last one. Hopefully I haven't already found it. Because I did notice that had happened a couple of times I went meandering for these. Well, I know on one occasion that it did happen. And that was, I meandered all over Blizzar Prime. All over, the main areas of Blizzar Prime. Couldn't find this Kreger Bear. Which, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, they're little stuffed bears that you can find for really nothing other than an achievement, but again, I kind of wanted to spend more time with this. So it was a fun way to kind of revisit all the worlds. But
hurry! We are running out of time.
Yep, that's right here. There he is. Okay, I'm gonna meander through the rest of this just because I don't expect Kit to be up top, but who knows. That being said, the one on Blizzar Prime, I meandered all over, couldn't find it. I didn't go to all the little side areas, but by that point I'd realized they weren't really in the side areas. It was always somewhere near the main. And I'm like, and if it is in one of the side areas, Blizzar Prime's huge. It's one of the larger worlds, kind of like Savali. I'd did not want to spend that time for something that is just an achievement. Which, did I get an achievement real fast? Yep, find all. Ta-da! But so I looked it up. That one specifically. Like, where's the Blizzard Prime one? And it's like, yes, it's over here towards the beginning. And I'm like, okay. I go there. I'm like, I just got a text, like, thing, because I thought, you know, it's easier for me to, because usually they're in lists of them. So I'm like, it's easier to ignore other ones, you know, if I get a text form, because then I just don't read them. I read, you know, what it's for, and then I ignore the rest of the text if it wasn't Blizzard Prime. Get there, and it's like, yeah, so it's right next to that third Blizon crystal, and I'm like, okay, I'm sure I can find that. And so I go through and check that, and come to find out, I can't find it near that third Blizon crystal on, like, a pile of rubble. So I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go look up a picture of where this one is. So Google, you know, Krager Bear Blizon Prime. Blizzard Prime. And it's sitting right there on a piece of rubble that I'd checked while I was looking for it. And I'm like, and I go check again. Nope, not there. Apparently, at some point, while on Blizzard Prime, I just kind of unassumingly, like, picked him up and walked off. May even have been on camera. And I think that was the one that I remember picking one up. And I couldn't remember which one it was. I'm assuming that's the one, because I went through and I grabbed all the other ones. And none of the other ones were particularly, like I didn't have this issue with any of the other ones. It was just the one for Blizzard Prime, and I'm like, So yeah, I did not want to do the same one here, because I'm like, maybe I'd forgotten that I picked up another one. Who knows? But yeah. I'll leave that mostly for something that if you guys want to go find them. Again, my hint is they're never really far off. Like, I knew the one at Zirky's, because I'd picked that one up on camera, and I knew I'd picked that one up on camera. But I was pretty sure I'd picked up another one, I just couldn't remember which one it was. And possibly others, because it was very, like, I could see myself accidentally picking these up. I'm gonna actually upgrade the Topiary Sprinkler. Additional damage, increased splash radius, additional damage, last longer.
Guess the upgrade train stops here.
Yeah. I'm not going for, like, full achievements on this, because it will take a while. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna come over here, and we're gonna have, yep, okay guys, I'm gonna go through gallery, before we, I'm, as much as I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of time at Savali, I am gonna drag this out as long as possible, but we're gonna read through the gallery, and our gadgets, and I think I'd have to, I can't do this here. Let me, and I hope that train's not coming up on microphone. If it is, it is. I live near train tracks. Let's do it here. So yeah, I'm gonna go through this stuff. Collectibles, we've kind of gotten all. Oh, I don't want gold weapons. Gold weapons are silly. Which we did get everything, which I'm pretty happy about. So, anyways, let's go through the gallery, which is all of these characters. Oof, wow, there's a bit. Okay, Ratchet would do anything to protect his galaxy and usually jumps boots first into danger. His blasters are matched in skill only by his wrench wrangling and his witticisms. The last Lombax in his universe, Ratchet was a lonely orphaned mechanic longing to find his lost family when he met his perpetual partner in crime. Clank's fateful crash landing on Velden led to the first of the duo's many adventures together, traveling to the ends of the universe to protect it from villains including, but not limited to, Dr. Nefarious. Though after spending so much time in retirement, he's begun to wonder, does he still have what it takes to be a hero? This hasn't changed since the beginning of the game. I did read it back then, I think. I don't remember. I remember looking at it. I think I did just the first time I booted up the game. Rivet. Underground resistance fighter, capable mechanic, and secret softie. Rivet is from a universe where she never had a robotic partner, and as a result, Nefarious reigns supreme. Determined to restore peace to her home, Rivet works tirelessly to dismantle the Emperor's dystopia one battle at a time. While she's known and admired by many around the galaxy for her heroics, she never managed to win against their evil ruler. Despite the many losses, her spirit has never been broken. She's still convinced that she can win the fight. She has to. Clank. Clank is Ratchet's best friend, co-pilot, and the brains of the operation, though he'd never admit it. After meeting on the planet Velden, he and Ratchet have gone on countless adventures saving the universe from the forces of evil. In his free time, Clank has starred in his own Holovision show, and has recently been researching lost Lombax technology. Using parts of a broken Dimensionator he collected after their last adventure, he rebuilt it to give Ratchet a chance to find the other Lombaxes. Its destruction has left Clank's body and the dimensions severely damaged. Kit. Once a warbot in service of the Emperor... Kit. Once a warbot in the service of Emperor Nefarious, Kit has been living in solitude on Savali, dedicating her life to the peaceful preservation of the dimensional archives and its secrets as Gary's apprentice. When the Empire set its sight on the monks and their knowledge of dimensional travel, she reluctantly partnered up with Ratchet and set off to put a stop to the evil forces. Kit revealed that she is able to transform into a hulking, deadly weapon, something she usually refuses to do in fear of the pain she will cause in her wake. After building trust with Ratchet, Kit has decided to take a leap of faith and go help save the Omniverse from destruction. Up until last episode, which if you weren't here for, things happened. It was streamed last Friday. Captain Quark, leader of the Q-Force, ex-president, and corporate spokesperson, Captain Copernicus Leslie Quark has been a galactic hero almost as often as he has been the villain. Recently, he has helped organize Megalopolis Festival of Heroes. Megalopolis's Festival of Heroes, celebrating the galaxy's greatest defenders, Ratchet and Clank, and himself, of course. Captain Quantum, the feared captain of the robot pirates who isn't actually a robot. A former member of the Resistance, Carl Lepton Quantum, used to work with Rivet and their compatriots to fight back against the Emperor's tyranny. But he always longed for more action, more adventure, more singing. That's why he devised an impeccable disguise to join the robot pirates. Sure, they were a bit rowdy, but who else was fighting the Empire and having a good time doing it? And after he got lucky planting a bug on the Emperor's assistant, he even found himself with a promotion to Captain Quantum. Long may he reign. Skid McMarks, celebrity hoverboard champion of Blackwater City and a longtime friend of Ratchet and Clank. In recent years, he has spent more time hawking his personal brand of hoverboarding gear through his chain of McMarks sports shacks on a planet near you. Phantom, proud Resistance member, deaf hacker, and not-so-secret electronic music aficionado. Phantom is a Resistance runner in Nefarious City who is helping spread the message of freedom to the downtrodden and brainwashed. After helping Ratchet in his quest to find the Royal Starship, he turned himself into the authorities to try and tear this whole rotten world down from the inside. Rusty Pete. The current captain of the robot pirates in his dimension, he once battled Ratchet and Clank under the command of Captain Slag. These days, he and his crew have entertained an alliance with... have entered an alliance with the galactic government, promising to only loot people when no one is looking. Pierre Lefebvre, first mate of Captain Quantum and mouthpiece of the pirates. Pierre fancies himself a debonair swashbuckler with a mysterious past, captivating gaze, and chiseled jawline. A longtime friend and perhaps more often enemy of Rivet, Pierre gleefully stirs up trouble around the galaxy in the name of piracy. His goal is to steal hearts and practically everything else that isn't bolted down. Dr. Nefarious, loud, scheming, and perpetually angry, Dr. Nefarious has been a thorn in the galaxy's side since his turn to villainy. However, after countless years of failed over-the-top plans and a long but restless retirement, this evil robot scientist and self-proclaimed supervillain has had enough. He is done being thwarted by Ratchet and Clank, and it is his turn to win. When his scheme to get his hands on the Dimensionator works, he realizes that this may be finally the chance to turn things around once and for all. Perhaps there's another dimension where he can finally reign victorious. When the Dimensionator explodes at the climax of his evil plot, Dr. Nefarious finds the universe crumbling around him, but that's not important. What is important is that he won. Now, he just needs to get those troublesome heroes out of the way and enjoy some comfort and adoration for once. Emperor Nefarious. Emperor Nefarious is the destined ruler of the entire known universe who will never, ever let you forget that fact. Ruthless, charismatic, and chronically self-absorbed, the Emperor likes to think of himself as a cool despot. And after so many years of graciously running this thankless dimension, who could blame him? After all, he spoils his loyal citizens with parties celebrating his greatness, artisan crafts made in his image, and even original music sung by him. Even though he has crushed all heroes and villains alike that have attempted to oppose him, there's still some who resist, most notably the frustrating, persistent rebel Lombax, who he had countless run-ins with, all ending in his success, of course. Recently, he has embarked on a series of missions to wipe out the remaining stragglers who dare resist his rule, leaving only Rivet and Captain Quantum to oppose him now. For now, anyway. Blech. Miss Zircon. Miss Zircon brings folksy flair to weapon vending that is all her own, while maintaining the product quality and unbeatable price point of her dimension self. Although she officially is an independent dealer, she is secretly working with the Resistance to topple the Nefarious Empire for a nominal fee. The Morts, gelatonium harvesters on a remote world of Sargasso. While they are officially neutral in the galactic conflict, they have taken Rivet in like family, helping her hide from the Emperor's rebel hunting spies and plying her with an unlimited supply of their homemade lemonade. Trudy, a Terraford flyer that was raised by the Morts since she fell out of the nest years ago. Trudy is able to carry 3 times her weight while airborne, making her perfect for Rivet's scouting missions, transporting mid-sized mining equipment around the swamp, or executing lemonade runs for the Mort's Saturday Night Swamp socials. Juice, a mysterious biomorph from the depths of Cordillean. With an impenetrable shell that can withstand crushing pressures, it feasts on bioelectricity, which it stores and amplifies with its 8 stomachs. When the Emperor discovered it swimming near Kadaro Station, he realized that it could be the perfect battery for his Rubion forge. Wrong thing. In one dimension, it broke loose and wiped out nearly everyone in the station after being set free by an unidentified utility bot. In another dimension, it was rescued by Ratchet and Kit. Now the two versions of Juice live freely with each other. Zircon Jr., the MC and mastermind of Zerky's Slaughterplex. While his father has dedicated his life to peace, Zircon Jr. delights in carnage and chaos, hosting thrilling death matches for the patrons of his family's gastropub. It's good for a child to have hobbies. Gary. Known to some as Prophet, Gary is monk residing on Gary, known to some as Prophet, Gary is a monk residing on Savali, a lifelong student of the mysteries of the multiverse, and son to a powerful, omniscient father. Gary is doing his absolute best to live up to not only the expectations of his dad and the universe, but to himself. Fearing the dimensional cataclysm, he has taken to deep meditation and astral projection in hopes of finding heroes who can help save the crumbling dimensions. If he can't help himself, the least he can do is help others, right? Please say yes. Vullard Junk Traders. Galactic junk traders, the Vullards have set up scavenger societies on Torin 4, Lumos, and several other historical trash piles. Unfortunately, life as meek scavengers has left them at the mercy of robot space pirates. The Emperor's Assistant. Emperor Nefarious' longtime personal assistant and confidant. For years, she has yearned for a promotion so she too can terrorize or rule the universe. But when your boss is the eternal emperor of all known existence, job vacancies are rare. He recently offered her an opportunity to branch out as warden of Zordum Prison, but the massive prison break and billions of bolts worth of damage on her watch are perhaps something best left off her resume. Goons for Less. The recently rebranded Goons for Less is a pioneer in affordable bodily harm, moving their business model to a mobile app. Now anyone can take out hits on their adversaries at competitive rates with 5-star service, specializing in crushing, coursing, and curling. Their extended network of goons for hire means that they can find their target no matter where they flee. Goon Rusher. Your sword's a little bit in the way, dude. It's a civilized galaxy, and you can't just go around vaporizing everyone. Sometimes you've got to use something more subtle, like a giant mallet or sword instead. Robot space pirates, led by the mysterious Captain Quantum. These buccaneers are a thorn in the Emperor's side, raiding his ships and looting his bases. Unfortunately, they are equal opportunity rogues and have laid their fair share of run-ins with the Resistance as well. Booty's booty, no matter where you get it. Nefarious Troopers, the robotic enforcers of Nefarious' empire. These uncompromising soldiers come in a variety of shapes and sizes, dedicating their synthetic lives to ferreting out rebels and dissidents. Their only goal is to gleefully spread the Emperor's cold, terrifying love across the universe. Robotic canines that were originally created by Drek Industries. The Goons for Less often buy them in bulk for hunting down targets. They never use real dogs because, frankly, most of them are cat people. Zoom Goon. These goon demolitionists experts. Zoom Goon. These goon demolitions expert fly through the air. Goon demolitions experts fly through the air like beautiful butterflies carrying incendiary grenade launchers. Vroom Goon. Sometimes you need a little help tracking down your target. That's where the Vroom Goon comes in. Expert trackers mounted on custom Megacorp hover bikes. Once they pick up your trail, they'll follow you anywhere, anytime, and through any dimension. Goon Dropship. Loud and smelly, like the goons packed inside. These G-Series dropships are equally capable of traveling through space as they are the drive-thru at Galaxy Burger. There is room inside for multiple squads of goons, several complements of Robomutts, and cup holders for 8. Undead Goon. Undead warriors from Nightmare Dimension, where this kind of spooky stuff happens all the time. They are happy to be dead and eager to share that joy with everyone they meet. Nefarious Laser Trooper. Elite Nefarious bots with 2 ion flux lasers used for cutting down Resistance propaganda and Resistance members. Nefarious Slugger. Specialized Nefarious troops with mega mass maces attached to each arm. Perfect for smashing spirits and skulls. Nefarious Peacekeeper. This patrol vehicle is outfitted with a pair of Nefarious Troopers so that one can focus on driving while the other specializes in targeting their neutron field cannons. One head is programmed to follow bad cop protocols while their partner plays the role of worse cop. Nefarious Juggernaut. Only the top-ranking members of the Nefarious Army get to become Juggernauts. With reinforced raritanium armor and plasmatic crash beams, these bots are not to be taken lightly. Nefarious Sniper Bot. Nefarious troops mounted on devastating fusion drive cannons. They take a few moments to charge up, so if you find yourself being tracked by their advanced sensor beam, you better take cover. Nefarious Blitz Trooper. Aerial Nefarious Troopers with a pair of quad blasters. Because the Emperor's military-industrial complex is a little out of hand. Nefarious Dropship. NX-class dropships are capable of deploying nefarious forces behind enemy lines as well as unleashing devastation with their Turbo-Lux cannons. Entirely automated, the ship is piloted by hardwired drone pilot algorithms because you can't go on coffee breaks when your brain is wired into the dashboard. Pirate Corsair. These mateys are equipped with antique pistols, relics of a more elegant time when gentlefolk could fire upon their enemy with style. Shield Pirate. Screw them. These pirates can carry a thick titanium shield that protects them from frontal attacks. Immobilizing them or attacking them from behind will make short work of that. They can also carry emotional shields that protect from meaningful relationships, but they are working through that in group therapy. Had to take that in for a second, I'm sorry. Marauder. A lot of these guys. These rogues are the muscle of the robot space pirates. With reinforced raritanium alloy plating, these large lads can punch through the hull of most interstellar freighters and trade ships. Each of them is equipped with a deadly mortar cannon and a sizzling track list of classic sea shanties. Cutlasses. Why just fire cannonballs when you can fire tiny ball-shaped pirates? These whirling dervishes are built from scrap reclaimed from raids across the galaxy. Sand sharks. Sand sharks are Sand sharks are comprised mostly of teeth and hunger. These pests are an invasive species and have devastated the local ecosystems of Aridia, Savali, and countless other worlds after having stowed aboard trade ships. Sand shark nest. Strange, writhing biomass created by sand sharks to harbor their eggs. If you can't destroy them quickly, you'll be dealing with near infinite stream of hungry sand sharks. Horned toads, carnivorous amphibians found throughout the galaxy. These creatures have sticky tongues, crustaceous, cantinous spikes, and plenty of aggression. I don't know that word. It's a new word. Interesting. They aren't so bad when deep fried and served with spicy aioli, though. Toxic crabs with thick shells and claws strong enough to pierce armor. These crabs can be found on various planets across the galaxy, from the lava caves of Blizar Prime to the icy depths of Cordelian. Don't let them scuttle too close, or you may experience the worst pinch of your soon-to-be-ending life. Amoeboids, gelatinous synthetic lifeforms that breed in dank, dark places. Individuality is not a concept that most amoeboids comprehend, as they are known to split into small groups and reform into a single entity if not destroyed quickly. Puffoids are hardy amphibious fish with toxic spikes. They have gills and lungs and are able to support life on land and sea. Rumor has it there is a variant that can survive in magma as well. Why does evolution always favor the pests? Sharka Gators, deadly aquatic creatures with trap-like jaw. If you see them swimming, get out of the water, as they are known to drag swimmers into a watery grave. Attack usually isn't an option. Savali Spitters, dangerous creatures found on Savali with thick, durable scales and powerful jaws. They also spit. Fendersax wasps, large invasive bugs with infestations around... Yeah, no, I read that right. Okay. Large invasive bugs with infestations around the galaxy. While they have venomous stingers, their primary method of attack is to vomit highly corrosive acid at their prey. Rumor has it their honey can be quite delicious, though. Grunthors, primordial beasts found only on Sargasso. These thunderous carnivores have sharp, shovel-like horns and a corrosive bite, and feet designed for dancing all over your grave. They were once considered endangered, but after the Empire cracked down on poaching, the only one in danger is you if you are unlucky to stumble across one. Undead Grunthor, also known as Sue. Everything you fear about the Grunthor, only now it's incapable of feeling pain. Dr. Nefarious's Party Crasher. Dr. Nefarious's custom party infiltrator craft with vehicle-grade hologuise, projector, guided missiles, and Nimblox laser cannons. Perfect for infiltrating Festival of Heroes. It probably would have been a hit at the Villainy Jamboree in Blackwater City had that meddling Lombax not dinged it up. Seekerpede, a biosynthetic search and destroy craft in service of the Empire. Seekerpedes can be seen patrolling the skies of Nefarious City, hunting for unlicensed aircraft, or scanning remote worlds for signs of secret rebel bases. Megalopolis Citizen, a citizen of the sunny and safe Megalopolis, and a huge fan of Ratchet and Clank. They were one of the many who got early bird tickets to the Festival of Heroes Live. Nefarious City Citizen, a proud nefarious citizen who has committed their entire never-ending life to serving the flawless Emperor Nefarious. Blizar Miners, the hardworking, safety-conscious miners of Blizar Prime. Speedle, large burrowing insect native to the planet of Sargasso. They can't fly, but they have evolved the ability to run across hazardous liquid surfaces and, if necessary, launch off of ramps to glide for a short amount of time. On a planet filled with acid swamps and hungry grunthors, this is a critical skill. Fish, aquatic resident of Cordelian's oceans, delicious with tartar sauce. Antara Swarmer, small vermin that crop up wherever travelers drop food, perfectly harmless unless they run across your foot in the middle of the night. Plains Beast, large grazing creature native to Savali. While naturally peaceful, some poachers have been known to abduct and train them as battle monsters. Glad I never had to see that. We're almost done with this. Sheep, the most regular customer at Zirky's 3 years running. This sheep has a stool reserved at the gastropub counter where they spend their days chewing grass and staring straight ahead, seemingly into the void. Some say they've heard it mutter frustrated nothings. Others whisper they've never seen it leave its chair. But one thing everyone knows for sure, after being sheepinated by the Emperor all those years ago, Drek has never been the same. A utility bot, specialized helper bots, produced for a variety of tasks ranging from navigation to data collection. Gregor Bear, mysterious plush bears that seem to show up on every world. They are said to carry the optimism, kindness, and creativity of a fallen hero, missed by his comrades. And with that, I should say that, yes, this is dedicated, I don't remember exactly the full name, but Craig was part of his name, like his first name, who passed away during the development of this game. Gadgets. Omniglove. Allows the wearer to use swing shot, hook shot, tether targets, and enables the swing shot's tether to manipulate rifts. Upgraded with resistance tech that allowed the wearer to attach to walls on specific surfaces and perform the Phantom Dash, which I said wrong for a while. Not Phantom Jump, Phantom Dash, in and out of combat. Glide Boots. Advanced traversal boots equipped for emergency deceleration pads with emergency deceleration pads for gliding. Hover Boots. Refurbished Lombax technology that allows the wearer to jet around at high speeds. Grind Boots. Specialized boot mod perfect for riding on grind rails. Magna Boots. Cutting-edge boot mod that allows the user to walk on magnetic surfaces. Box Breaker. A device when integrated into oversized hammers and wrenches extends the range and power of ground slams. It even allows the user to pick up bullets from a greater distance. Weapons. Drill Hound fires a hound that digs its way towards your enemy, moving faster if locked on, and explodes in their face. Shatter Bomb, a grenade that explodes upon impact. Executor, able to fire single or quadruple barrels of plasma. Fungi attacks enemies and potentially distracts them. Negatron Collider charges up to fire beam that will go through multiple enemies. Ricochet fires a projectile that can strike enemies multiple times and damage scales up with successfully timed hits. Lightning Rod fires electric needles, and if enemies die while being electrified, their electricity can spread to nearby enemies. Void Repulsor provides a protective shield that can fire short-range widespread blast of energy. Blast Pistol fires 3 shots of hot plasma at once. Accuracy decreases if shots are fired in stream. Topiary Sprinkler deploys a sprinkler that stuns enemies and turns them into topiaries. Apocalypse Club releases Doom eggs full of agents of doom, little friends that bite the closest enemies they see before self-destructing. Buzz Blades fires blades that bounce off enemies and the environment. Cold Snap freezes enemies with a single close-range blast of cold air. Peacemaker fires rockets that will release micro-rockets upon impact. Bombardier deploys a drone that flies in a straight line and drops bombs as it goes. Headhunter slow time to shoot enemies near and far. Black Hole Storm spins up to fire bullets extremely quickly but will overheat if fired too long. And Rhino 8 fires a ball of energy that opens a portal above the battlefield, allowing mysterious objects to fall through. When an object strikes the ground, it creates massive explosion. And that's everything. Okay, I'm not really going to go through. There is stuff for the armor, but probably like the weapons, I don't think it matters that much. Ooh, I find that amusing. A helmet disguise the rebels. A helmet disguise the rebels infiltrating to Nefarious City. Don't worry, it's one size fits all. Hopefully. Yeah, but we got a whole bunch. This does have little bits of like flavor text, but nothing super big. I think most of it was in the gallery. Gadgets was kind of fun, but that kind of sums all that up. Let's go talk to Quantum, because I think it's time. We also have a ton of money now.
Hey, Phantom. Thanks. Sorry. 1 sec.
Okay.
Well, we meet again, Yvette.
Are you gonna start any trouble here?
Yes. That would be exciting, no? But alas, my troublesome days are behind me, for I have retired to a life of frivolity and living beyond my means.
Okay.
So how do we find the Emperor?
Final showdown is at hand. This is your last chance to acquire armor and collectibles before the end of the story. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, we are ready to go.
Okay. We have to draw him out. So I was thinking I'd disguise myself as a robot, but with a really big...
Do you know what that sound is? Listen closely. Is it fear? Hope? The slow inevitability of death? No, it's me. Winning.
What else is new, you say?
Oh, quite right. But you are only a part of one dimension. What about the rest? Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, but I think everyone deserves a little subjugation. So, to celebrate such a momentous occasion, I'd like to honor the good doctor who inspired this journey in the first place. By invading his home dimension personally. What? My first stop, Megalopolis. Or, as I like to think of it, New Nefarious City.
When do we leave?
Right now.
Are we home? I am afraid so.
All right. This is going to be interesting.
The Emperor is truly turning our dimension into his own.
Nefarious is just up ahead. If you guys distract him, I can try and grab the Dimensionator from above.
We'll meet you there. You hear that, pal? Let's take out some snipers. Ribbit, how's it looking up there?
Not great, but I'm with you. I've got you covered.
Nefarious cannot be far. We must keep moving.
I keep moving, you mean destroy everything in our path, right? Because that's what I'm hoping you're meaning.
All right. Looks like the sky's clear of snipers. Let's move.
No. Stop it. I'm getting rid of all of you. Yep, sorry. Wow. Here, have some Agents of Doom. And I will get out of ammo, apparently.
So we can take our final stand for our glorious Emperor.
Here, have an Apocalypse Glove. And, some Cold Snap. And a Head Hunter. Okay, that's... Ooh. I know there's a guy below, behind you. There we go. And Cold Snap, please. Ouch. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to my health. So,
How's it looking up there?
Not great, but I'm with you.
there's a lot of enemies, so these guys should be useful. And let's get this guy.
Hurry and get that Dimensionator.
And ooh, wow, we're real low, aren't we? Oop. 1 second. There we go. That's what's supposed to happen when it freezes. And that was the PlayStation being weird. As that freeze happened for me too.
Nefariouses are just up ahead.
Where is there any health? Ah, health. I do appreciate that the health pickups got bigger the further into the game I was. Okay, alright. Here, have some fun. This is condensed fun. Okay, and there is still a guy there. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna come grab. Oh, I guess not.
They're here.
You are the heroes of this dimension? That is hilarious.
You got lucky last time, Nefarious.
This calls for a special sort of annihilation. I've been looking for an excuse to wear my new suit.
Where did he go? What's your move, Nefarious?
Okay. This is kind of an on-rails segment.
Is that a rift? We need your help. Nefarious just...
But
Whoa!
You are no longer in exile. What has gotten into you lately? I was so used to you being dull.
okay.
Come on! We have to fight this thing! Pirate those monitors!
Monitors. I assume that is the thing we're talking about.
Never guess!
Quantum? What are...
We've got a plan. Just hold them off a little longer.
Right!
Ouch.
Sure!
That hurt.
What do you think of my new look? I call it my power suit. I rarely have an occasion to break it out.
I guess your funeral's as good a time as any!
Ah, there's such good dialogue.
Just have to weaken his
This is fun.
stupid, power suit!
Alright. Alright, we're out of. I hope this is just a last.
Singed fur!
Ouch. Do I have any health to speak of? No. What I got is what I got. Okay.
You really think you stand a chance?
Come! There is a battle to be won!
You've got this, Quantum.
Emperor Nefarious, your campaign of destruction, cruelty, and wanton snobbery is over! How's that?
I have goosebumps.
You nailed it. Now jump.
Hi.
This dimension really thinks it will get the best of me. How about I retire their heroes?
It's still working. This is not good. Everyone shoot those monitors.
All right. Okay. Where?
Is how you get your dimension to
I appreciate them filling up health and ammo and things.
This is my dimension to rule!
Okay.
You think you're clever, don't you?
Pretty clever.
This is becoming considerably
Last pistol out of ammo.
amusing.
Keep firing at the monitors.
Okay. His arm.
Are you all okay?
Yep, it's just fighting a Nefarious the size of his ego.
We're getting close. Hang in there.
Okay.
Won't you just bow?
Okay, and that is more Peacemaker ammo.
Look upon my magnificent work and
I don't know if you'll do anything,
Don't let him distract you.
but hey. Oh, it does. It does do something. I love that. And so does this. Come on. Running out of ammo, but hey. And where's Topiary Sprinkler for... Yep, right now. And... Buzzblades. Yeah. You're in the wrong dimension, bud.
Nefarious?
on my last nerve. This holds not even a candle against the battles I have won. Countless victories. Your dimension will be another in my trophy case.
What ammo was that? I did not see. Okay, that's not functional here. Buzzsaw blades, cool. Buzzsaws.
Firing Ratchet. You heard him, everyone.
Aha! Okay, I am out of that. Does Cold Snap work? It would be useful if I could hit him with it. I'll go with no. Cold Snap don't work. But what about to you? Okay. No Cold Snap. Oh, yes, Cold Snap. That was unexpected.
You think you're clever, don't you? I will win.
Uh-huh. How's that going for you, bud? Oh, we're out of ammo on this. This isn't my favorite weapon to be using at this time. But hey, gets the job done.
My eyes! Quiet! I can't see! I want my suit fully back online! Now!
Ratchet, Gary and the monks think they can help. Get as close to Nefarious as you
Yep.
can. I'll draw fire.
Doing that. We are doing that.
Over here! I can get you into Nefarious's heart. As in the robot heart. Sorry.
Thank you.
What just happened? Okay.
There's the heart. If we destroy it, we can take down his mech entirely.
Okay.
Someone is inside of your power suit. Get him out! Troopers, go! Defend the heart!
Uh-huh.
I will send every weaselly, ungrateful citizen of this dimension into the darkest, most remote pits of reality to suffer in ways their tiny mind could never begin to comprehend.
It's working.
Why will they not just
All right.
submit? This is why my dimension is hard to take over. It's not because of me. That remains to be seen.
And we did it.
You have nearly done it, Ratchet.
No! My suit! It's failing!
Keep firing, Ratchet.
Okay, let's do Peacemakers. Okay, this is a little worrisome. How are we getting out? I think.
Gary, I could use an exit.
Ratchet! Clank!
We got thrown to the other side of the city. Hold them off as long as you can.
You think you can defeat me? I will bring in all of my armies, all of my followers. You will bow before me.
He's gonna destroy the dimensions. run away anymore. I can't let you do this alone. I will hold back his army. Take him down.
Oh. Thanks to be Nefarious. They keep
They all love me. You all love me. I am the destined emperor of this dimension.
No, you're just an emperor of a different dimension. Oh, we want to play that game? Let's play that game. Oh, hi.
Enough, Nefarious! You're tearing reality apart if you don't stop!
Oh no! The thankless, uninspiring dimensions are collapsing! How could I?
Okay, that would be nicer if it would be a little easier to hit. Okay, come on. Come here. Yeah. Screw you, buddy. I think you're losing a couple, bolts here. Oh, well. Let's do Mr. Fungi and... Ooh, a topiary sprinkler. And... bombs. And... Ooh, I do have still some more Peacemaker ammo.
You're done for, Nefarious! Now everyone can finally see you for what you really are!
Come, my troopers! Let's
Yep.
I really am!
Kid, I could use a hand!
Hands not quite probably necessary.
To the save!
After all this time, just to betray your emperor, KT-7416?
My name are not my emperor!
Oh, rivet and hit! How utterly charming!
Hi, how do you like my lock-on stuff? Also, I would like you to become a plant again. Oh, I'm sorry. This was probably not your best decision.
Rebel warhawk, do not let it near me!
Kid! Heavy incoming!
Ouch.
Lucky shot!
No, it's more than a lucky shot. It's him.
The end of me! Not even close!
He's not playing fair, is the thing. Okay, and I need to get another.
Did someone...
Okay, that's out.
Give up already!
Okay, and what? Ooh, hey. Let's again turn you into a nice stationary Clank. Okay. Ouch. I don't actually know what I got hit by. He's...
More troopers flanking! Fighting them out together! Let's show them how it's done!
Okay. Yeah, how it's done is by converting half of them into statuary.
Oh, nice one!
I need help. There we go.
My loyalists, every one of you, come together to fight for your beloved Emperor! They're all gone! Hello!
Nope!
Enough! I will collapse every dimension into nothing!
This is the part where you lose!
You really thought you had me?
Bubbles.
Get off of me, you loathsome... Please, we can win this together! What do you know about winning?
You two really are a couple of hot shots.
Look who's talking. Ready to fix this, pal?
I would love nothing more.
Hey, I'm sorry for what I said before. You're my friend, and thank you for coming back. Team? Team.
I guess it's time to go home, huh?
Yeah. Our dimension could use a couple heroes right about now.
Well, how would you two feel about making a pit stop on the way?
Where are we headed?
I think you know.
Is that us?
That was wonderful. And ooh, that's gonna be fun. Clank with a new arm, picking up after the fact. I'm curious what we're gonna do next. Because this little after the fact cinematic, I feel like isn't quite. Ah, Lawrence had a baby. Robot baby. I'm sure going and finding the Lombaxes isn't going to be quite as simple. Who knows? Like, we're still watching credits. But I'm curious what the plan is. This could be the end, theoretically. Like, this is an end. I hope not, though. That being said, one of the things I didn't get, because we kind of got into this, is I did wait to do this stream because next week I looked at the calendar and was like, wow. Next week is Elden Ring. So not Wednesday, but Thursday instead, we're going to be streaming the start of Elden Ring. But until then, I do want to talk about this for a little bit, because this has been, and I want to talk more than just Rift Apart. While Rift Apart is something I want to spend some time talking about, and my thoughts on it. Overall, I do really like how this little cinematic is showing stuff. Kind of after scenes, what would be between game, probably. Yup. Bubbles is the new captain. That's great. And the map. New archive. That's neat. I don't really want to talk, over this. I am talking over it, but I kind of want to be able to talk about what's going on in this rather than my thoughts. So we may jump back into game after this. Quark and Quantum. That's... The two of them are great. As much as I gave them flack for how Quark was in the first game, I do think Quark's an interesting and fun kind of way to do someone who wants to be a superhero but isn't quite the paragon. But them kind of giving us this little aftermath is more than I think we've gotten with any other game. And I liked a lot of, the juxtaposition between one universe's character and another. It was a lot of fun to see the differences in some of the choices and how things played out. As much as they make, that, Rivet's supposed to be Ratchet's counterpart, it sounds like Nefarious was a problem before, since Quantum didn't do what Quark did. Because that's what stopped Nefarious initially. So... Thank you for joining us on this internet Interdimensional adventure, yeah. Don't know why I can't read right now. I also like this fun little stylized. It's not a new style that they used them in Into the Nexus. Is Nefarious gonna I'm gonna let this go.
Alone at last, stuck at the top. If I ever lost, I think I'd just drop. My never-ending story of success is a lonely refrain. So I've one request. Join me at the top. Why don't you join me where the stars all shine? And
This is silly and very much in flavor.
no, I can't resist a ditty. So join me. Oh, wait, well, what a pity. Looks like I forgot.
They can't come
'Cause
up.
I'm everything you're not.
This feels almost kind of Disney villain song,
Oh, it's wonderful.
and that's kind of a fun way to do this.
The kind you could never dream up in your dreamiest of dreams. Aren't you so lucky to have me to revere? Your flawless yet lawless emperor right here. Join me at the top. Why don't you join me where the
Kind of quiet
stars all
compared
shine, and I will never
to everything else that just went on, but
go on, fall in line, and no one's given me good reason to stop my usual power season. Join me at this spot. I forgot I'm everything you're not. Who am I?
Our greatness?
And who are you?
Wait, I'm not gonna sing this.
You're no good without me. How dare you ever doubt me? Now listen as the doctor sings the case.
They join you at the top.
Yes, they would.
Join you where the stars all shine.
And boy, I'm so freaking hot.
You're scalding.
I should have them up.
But you will not.
It's all kinds of rad.
And hilarious.
To be all big and bad.
And nefarious.
So join me on my plot.
Never mind. Forgot.
I'm everything you're not.
Nefarious on top.
those two had to have so much fun with that. And it shows. So I guess I should start by kind of summing up how I felt about this game. Obviously, like, I enjoyed this game a ton. It's kind of sad that it ended so soon. That being said, like, I dropped well over 15, probably closing in on 20 hours into this. It's not a short game by any means. And that's 100%ing it, not like super try hard. Yeah, I'm sure people could get through it faster. People could also be slower about it, depending like how you struggle with certain fights and stuff. And that's counting, what I did on camera. There were things I did off camera. So, practice and stuff. And then there's the entire, 3 to 4-ish hours that I spent getting back to Sargasso, but for that one issue that we had. But all things considered, I would have loved to have this story go further. And I think one of the things that kind of, to me, is the defining point of this, it's the thing that, to me, makes this game stand out, is that it introduces 3 characters that they take you through the entirety of the game. That I think are I'm only talking about 3 of them. While there's a lot of characters that were introduced, but 3 of them that very quickly, very instantaneously, I thought dripped with appeal, were very great additions to the cast that I didn't even have to question. I like these characters. Rivet, in just her opening introduction, You get a feel for her character. You get a whole, like they give you so many reasons just to like her right off the bat. And then the next one that they followed it up with, which may not necessarily be for everyone, but Glitch. Glitch is this character that is doing all your hacking minigames, which I loved this hacking minigame in particular. I thought it played a lot better than some of the previous ones. But Glitch was very quickly also likable. It wasn't, me on the fence. I don't know how I feel about Glitch. Kit maybe took me the longest. And I already knew what they were doing with Kit. Like, the moment that I saw Kit, I knew what Kit was supposed to be. So I knew I was probably going to be stuck with Kit, at least for a little while. And it was just a little slower, because Kit's meant to be, at first, you're kind of wondering why Kit's being a little standoffish, and that's maybe not the right phrasing, but she doesn't really want to help you and be on this adventure. She is very downtrodden on herself, which intrigued me. I wanted to know more instantly. Like, she was not a character that I wanted them to just like throw away. I was just like, I don't know if I like you yet, because I need a reason to know why you are being the way you're being. Just because a character being, very, the word, yeah, is that right? Any character that's very down on themselves, let's use simpler words, than what I was thinking about, but, that are being down on themselves a whole lot, if there's not a good reason, can feel very bad. But when they gave the reason, that she knew she had hurt someone and she was supposed to be a monster, basically, and she didn't want to hurt anyone, like, everything made sense and was an understandable point of view. And also, this is the incarnation of Ratchet that I very much like. I mentioned it, earlier when I was playing this, that, I was very down on Ratchet in the first game because of how the Ratchet that I had met in the remake of that first game, in the 2016 remake. The Ratchet and Clank remake his personality is far closer to this incarnation of him. That being said, I don't think that this is a game that you should just go from 2016 remake and just play this one. You can. I think you might be okay. There's going to be a lot of context. I think at least the Future Saga is necessary to really understand what's going on of the larger plot. But I think you can enjoy these characters without all that. Quark wouldn't mean as much, therefore, like Captain Quantum. Rusty Pete wouldn't mean anything to you and all that. So Pierre wouldn't be as amusing. But you could get along with a lot of this game. You could probably get along with a lot of this game by just playing this game. And I think that says a lot, that I think you could come in just playing this game as your introduction to the series and understand these characters and why they're likable. And they do that very quickly and very well. That being said, I do think playing back through all the games was super helpful. Honestly, like, if I had to pick any game that I would take out of the lot and throw away, would probably be Going Commando, the second game. Because the only thing that even comes of that game was the one comment when you're in Zordoom about Angela. That's the only time mention's made of anything that really happens. There might have been some of those descriptions that I read, I think, that mentioned some of the things from that, but they weren't really necessary So, like, I had mixed feelings going through that original trilogy, because that original trilogy is a little rough around the edges in comparison to this and what it is now. And I think if I had played the games back when I was a kid, it wouldn't have fazed me. It would have been. I probably also wouldn't be playing them at the pace I played them. And I may eventually try and go back just playing them on my own on actual PS3 hardware, just so I can kind of get my thoughts on how they play on normal hardware, not on an emulator, and playing at my own pace. I feel like they may run a little bit better. I still think the first one will be a rough spot, because I do genuinely think that the remake was a better way of telling that story, and it may be a game that we play in the future if people are interested, but I think for at least a little bit I plan on walking away from Ratchet and Clank. Obviously, next I'm going to be playing Elden Ring for a little bit. I don't know what's coming after that, but this series is definitely one that if they continue it, and I genuinely hope that they do, I will be instantly back on board to play it again and to continue this series, because it is amazing fun. Yeah, and they did some wonderful, there's wonderful tech that's really cool from just a developer perspective. Some of the stuff they did was really cool and interesting, but also just as a gamer, it was a lot of fun to play. They managed to make a story that felt good to go all the way through. There was never points where I was like, this is really a slog to get through. This was going on all cylinders the entire time. There are slower portions when I would decide to go, when I meandered all of Savali to get all of the lorbs and do all of the extras. The story speed obviously was pretty much on pause, aside that those lorbs gave us little tidbits here and there, which I do think was a really great way to make that very large space something exciting to explore. But I don't think when I'm off the beaten path, just meandering and wandering, no, the game doesn't need to be, keeping me in the entire time. It was good, while I was trying to move through the story, and when I wanted to stop, I felt like I could pretty easily go wherever I wanted. I'd wandered through all the different worlds aside from Savali to get all the Kreger Bears, and then went through Savali at the start of this, and I didn't have to worry if I stepped somewhere wrong that there was going to be story moving when I didn't want it to. It was very much on my terms. The only thing I guess I would say, which would be a convenience as a streamer, is the ability to make manual saves. And this is actually one of those times, because I'm pretty sure I've done just about everything I can. I actually want to start this in challenge mode, and I'm gonna continue talking for a few minutes. Actually, I'm not gonna start it now. Oh, that's actually wonderful. I like that they let me pick here. Because if I start this, I'm not gonna talk. So, kind of closing thoughts on all of this. Like I said, I do think it was worthwhile to go through all those games and kind of see the evolution. I know I skipped on some games, that I didn't feel were particularly relevant, and I think it's Deadlocked, which is the fourth game technically in the series, took kind of a different term. You didn't get Clank in there, so there weren't the puzzle bits. It was more kind of a straightforward shooter, more in the style of like a Halo game. I didn't play that. I'm not interested in playing that. It doesn't appeal to me the same way that this does. And from the sounds of it, like it was almost like an attempt at a gritty kind of soft reboot that just didn't go. And they did the smart thing and kind of turned around and did Future Saga, which I adore. Which would be, I guess, the other thing that I would wish is that in this one that I would have saw Aphelion, the SAS ship was kind of fun in Tools of Destruction, and it didn't really talk that much in Crack in Time, but it would have been nice to have your ship back. I realize why they didn't, for many reasons. Like they had a story reason, and then they would have had to have a second ship model, but they never have another ship model. They have different ship coloring, which there's probably reasons for that. Or it could have just been the story reason, and that's also fine. I'm perfectly fine with that being a reason in and of itself. Also, that's actually really cool that I'm noticing something, which, no, yeah, L1. Why do you say copy? How do I copy? Because I'm hitting L1 and it's not doing what it says it's supposed to be doing. Okay. Yeah, it always says 3 up in the corner. I don't know. If that copy does actually work, I don't know how to get it to work, but that would actually solve my complaint about the save thing. But it doesn't seem to work. It seems to, when I press L1, take me into this menu, which is not copying. Which is also another thing. When it was like, press X to interact with Kit, I pressed triangle, and it still did it. Not that I was like upset that it moved the story forward. I was perfectly fine with that. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot. I thought this was a lot of fun. Elden Ring's going to be such tonal whiplash. Because it's a Souls game. Soulsborne, it's a from software game. So, you're even just like the main character is a tarnished and all of that. That's going to be such tonal whiplash. Which I'm going to be actually fine with, because I do want to kind of get I haven't really done it that much where, I want to be a variety streamer. Well, I have just, since we started this channel, beelined through Ratchet and Clank. I don't only intend to play Ratchet and Clank and Ratchet and Clank like games. I plan on playing games that I feel like playing. Ratchet and Clank just happened to be one that I've really enjoyed, and had wanted to, because I started playing the original. I had this one back when I started in August. I say the original. I played not the original, but the remake of the original. I enjoyed the remake of the original, and I had looked up, could I just jump into Rift Apart? And it was like, well, no. And I'm like, okay. And it was that the story went through into the Nexus, that there were, and the only thing I knew was the Dimensionator was a thing. And there was something at the end of Into the Nexus about them getting the Dimensionator. And I thought the scene in my head was that they got it and used it. I didn't realize they didn't even use it, that it was still technically broken. Did not know that. But yeah, and then I kind of backtracked that I'm like, well, the original trilogy makes sense, and then we'll do the Future Saga Into the Nexus, and then Rift Apart. because I kind of wanted people to be on that journey with me, because I think that's always fun to be on a journey like that with someone through their entire first experience of a game. One example of a game that I kind of wish I had streamed, but I didn't. Did not record, did not stream, did not do anything of that back when I played it, was Outer Wilds. And there is a DLC for Outer Wilds, but I don't know if I want to do that on stream since I didn't do it originally on stream. And it's one of those games that is not the same the second time through. I may see if I can try and get like a friend who's never played Outer Wilds and get them to play it. Or be there with me kind of like making decisions, and I'll kind of only be mild guide. That might be something that would be fun. But I want to finish my thoughts about Ratchet and Clank. I keep getting sidetracked. I do that a lot. I'm very easily sidetracked, if you haven't learned. But overall, I think, looking back at the series, the original Ratchet and Clank trilogy is fine. It is literally just fine. I think Future Saga is where they found their footing, because I feel like that's where Ratchet and Clank got a lot of their appeal, and their character kind of like settled into something that resembles who they are today. And I would say, like, if you ever, the one thing that I wish they would do is one of two things. Make it so you can play all of Future Saga on PS Now. Tools of Destruction would be a wonderful addition to PS Now. I would have loved to have played Tools of Destruction on PS Now and just have the whole game there. And then my suggestion to anyone would be play Future Saga and then Rift Apart, and that would be perfectly fine. A perfectly fine introduction to this series. But what would be really cool to see is remake of kind of that Future Saga story. I wouldn't even mind a remake of the original trilogy, like the full trilogy, not just the first game when they were trying to do the movie. Like, and maybe even do the first one again, more faithful to what it was. Because there are some things that don't quite line up if you try and do the second and third games. But even if they don't try to do that, a remaster or re-release of that Future Saga up to Into the Nexus would be a wonderful way of helping like people kind of find their way through this game. And I do think it's a game series worth getting into if you've never gotten into it before. That's kind of the thing, is like I'd never gotten into the series, didn't really know much about it. I'd heard the name, you know, same like, and it's like partially because I have very sporadic PlayStation 2 games. While we had a big library, our PlayStation 2 library was all over the place. And very much influenced by what my parents liked to play. I only had a handful of games, and so I tended to pick games that I really wanted, that I knew about and were kind of higher profile for me. Or just were weird, random, like, off-the-wall finds. So I never picked up the original trilogy, and definitely wasn't getting the Future Saga because I did not own a PS3 until the PS4 came out. Because I got someone's PS3 because they had part of my family had several. My aunt had owned several PS3s of different generations, depending, because my aunt made decent money and could afford to do that. So I got a PS3 after she got her PS4, even though they still had one other PS3 floating around, which I used to play like Uncharted, because I had I don't remember what started me on the train of Uncharted, but it was something. I think it was seeing a little bit of Thief's End and being really intrigued. And then eventually I went back and played everything. I haven't finished Thief's End, but I've played all the rest of it, and I do have the remastered collection because I played the first and second one on PS3, and then the third one that I had, because I had a used copy, was damaged. And it'd been like over 6 months since I bought it, because I bought them all at the same time and then slowly played through them. But yeah. But I never played Ratchet and Clank. Even at that point, it was kind of back in the back of my mind, because the series had kind of ended at that point. There wasn't any releases really on the PS4. I'd heard about the re-release, the remake, and it just didn't catch my attention really. I didn't know anyone who was super into these games. It was a game that I thought of in the same line as Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Spyro. Like, I knew that they were kind of targeted at a similar... Spyro is even a younger age range, but it was kind of in that thought process, and I'd never... Even though, like, I love Spyro and Crash, I've played Crash, I have mixed feelings on Crash. I should say, I played the remake of Crash. I never played original Crash, but the remake, from what I know, is fairly faithful. Crash was not a game that I particularly enjoyed, coming to it at a later date, obviously. But like Spyro was one I enjoyed, but I never went into Jak and Daxter. I do actually have Jak and Daxter on the PS3. But I may end up just getting that, because you can actually play those on PS4 and subsequently PS5 if you buy them. So that might be something down the road. Though I know that one does kind of take the grittier turn later. I'm not sure how much I'll necessarily enjoy that comparatively to this, because I really liked that this, like, it had moments where it could be serious, but it also still kept moments that were light and fun. And the world was always really fun with itself. It never took itself that seriously. Another game that we need to play, kind of on that thought process, is Demon Souls. I may look at doing that afterwards, which was originally what I was going to start this channel on, was playing Demon Souls. And I didn't, because of this, and I'm so happy I did. I also have a whole bunch of like Switch games that I really kind of want to sit down and play and go through, and this is kind of what I'm going to use this channel for going forward. But I guess my end all be all thoughts about Ratchet and Clank is, if you've never played them and you've just watched me play them, even if it's just the remake, whatever one you can get on your hands on, mind you, the older ones are very expensive and not necessarily worth it, but if you can get your hands on them, I do think that it is worthwhile taking the time to play them, especially if you can get your hands on Rift Apart. This one was just a blast. So, that being said, I think I'm going to end this here. It's been about, almost 2 hours. And I don't quite know, like, no matter what, I'm ending the recording here. But I think this is going to be it for this week. And we're probably going to roll into next week. So I'll leave this as a note at the end, if you're watching this relatively quickly as a VOD, either on Twitch or on YouTube. As I've been uploading these pretty good. They've been up, within a day or so on YouTube. mainly because I wanted to make sure that you could always catch up. But if you are not watching currently, or even if you are, the plan is next week. My schedule is going to be off a little bit. I'm not going to stream on Wednesday. At least this plan isn't to stream on Wednesday. And if I do stream on Wednesday, it's not going to be a game. It's going to be something different. There's a project I've been working on, which is always it's one of those things, because of what it is. It may not necessarily be something that you may or may not like. It's going to be something different. That being said, that may happen on Wednesday. It may not. I'll be working on the project on Wednesday. It's whether I stream it or not. Which really has to do about what I'm doing that day and where I'm at with the project, if I feel comfortable streaming where I'm at. As there are some things that I don't want to stream with it. But at least until I'm necessarily further along. So it'll be kind of one of those deciding if I feel like it. We'll do that on Wednesday. Otherwise, I will be streaming Thursday. Thursday will be the launch of Elden Ring. I plan on having it all preloaded and everything. Worst case scenario, even if I can't preload it, my stream is well after its launch. So I will, first thing in the morning, start the download and get ready. Hopefully the servers don't tank and crash. Hopefully nothing gets pushed back. I'm going to kind of cross our fingers on that. And the only reason I say that is there was, if you're not up with Souls news, there was a large exploit that was found very recently on PC builds of all of the Souls games, which is why all Souls servers are down for PC right now. I don't think this affects console. I did buy Elden Ring on PC. But from what I know, they know what's wrong and they plan on fixing it, but Elden Ring was their priority to make sure that Elden Ring did not have this issue, and that that everything was good and coming out on time for Elden Ring. So from how they've specified it and everything, I think it's fine, and that they should be releasing all on time. And I would think at this point we would know, just because they would need to, at this point, they may be doing final patches, but I would assume that at this point they would be preparing for certifications on all the consoles and to Steam and that. While Steam's process is a little bit lighter than some of the console manufacturers, you still have to be kind of up on everything and just making sure that, that your first live build is good, at least as good as you can make it. So that's hope. The other thing I might, kind of talking a little bit future, the Horizon games are a game series that I really want to sit down and play, with Forbidden West coming out really soon. I've watched someone play Zero Dawn, so I know the overarching story of Zero Dawn, but I have not played Zero Dawn myself, and it looks like a ton of fun. And I may start trying to get friends around and doing some co-op games and that sort of thing. I've got plans for where we're going to go with this channel, and how things are going to go. I really like that Ratchet and Clank was kind of where we started. It feels like something that's going to be fun to periodically just come back and touchstone with. But for the moment, I think I'm going to lay this to rest, and we're going to be done for probably a while. Until I get, either another one comes out, or I feel like we just got to sit down and play the remake just for funsies. Yeah. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And if you have, I know I mention this periodically at the end, usually at the end of these streams, but if you really have enjoyed this, enjoyed any of this, would appreciate if you're on Twitch, dropping a follow would be wonderful. You can know when we're live at any point when we're live. So, you know, my random Friday stream last week, you'll catch that. Or if you're on YouTube, dropping a subscribe, maybe even coming over to Twitch if you do want to check this live. Normally, I stream Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, East Coast of the United States. That's not going to change probably for the foreseeable future. I live on the East Coast, so, you know, it makes sense. Ish. I'm not quite on the coast, but I'm in that time zone. So, yeah. I'd appreciate anything, even if you just come and watch. Even if you don't subscribe, follow, or anything. While that helps, like, grow the channel, I'm just happy that people take some enjoyment out of this. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. Really sad to see this game series kind of be off for now. We may periodically revisit different entries and kind of do, like, extra stuff. Probably all the ones that are on PlayStation now, I may look at, you know, going back and kind of closing up on those 100% marks, but at least for now, we're gonna lay it to rest, and those may just kind of sit in future times. So, thank you guys all for watching. See you guys next time. Bye-bye!